Hey guys, this is Chandra from Calgary, Canada. Today I'm going to give you detailed step-by-step process involved in the Canadian Immigration Express Entry for skilled immigrants. Stay tuned. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give you the step-by-step process, and all the necessary information is in the description below. So you can download the file from the description below, and then you don't need an agent. You can just apply, and then the next few videos, what I'm going to do is I'll give you how you can improve your CRS scores. I know that there are lots of videos around it, but this is specifically there are different other ways by which you can improve as well. There are some tricks which I mentioned to my fellow friends who immigrated to Canada that worked. So definitely it will work for you too. Thank you very much. Okay guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Chandra again. So let's jump into the process directly. So the slides, this is the presentation that I have created for you guys, so which you can take it or download it, so that it will guide you for your express entry step-by-step process. So by now you should be knowing what an express entry is. You would have done your own research. So just to give you a brief definition, I would say this is actually a definition. So express entry is an online system that is used by IRCC for managing all the applications for permanent residents from skilled workers. So it's a very easy process. There is no need for going through an agent at all. I have never used an agent, so I have done the permanent resident application myself for my family, and then I have brought in my parents as well, so through the grandparents permanent resident that is also by IRCC. So so very easy process, so stay tuned. Thank you. So basically there are 10 steps. I have devised all the 10 steps. So basically what you are going to do is we are going to see what are those 10 steps, and I will also give you a brief overview of each and every steps that is involved, and in my future videos I will explain separate, or for example how to improve your CRS scores. There are lots of videos around it, but basically there are a few tricks that none of the videos will provide you. So stay tuned. So everybody should be knowing what a NOC is. I don't want to go over what a NOC is, but NOC is basically a classification of your job and what job duties. So so for example, if you're information technology person, you would have a special NOC number which will be used in your application for applying. So the first step is identifying your NOC. So the NOC is nothing but National Occupational Classification, and then the next one is there are different eligibility criteria for you to apply for the express entry. We'll also see what those are. That is the second step that you have to. So in case if you are not eligible, you don't have to spend all your money into it and then finding that you are not eligible. The third one is educational credential assessment. So you have to keep all these things ready before you even apply for your that is before you create an online express entry profile. So educational credential assessment is done by different organizations or different institutions. One of the most preferred is WES, which will go through in the next few slides or next few steps. Step 4 is take your IELTS. IELTS needs a lot of preparation, be it 1 month or 2 months. Well prepared. Even if you are very good in English, take time. This will greatly improve your CRS score. Step 5, calculate your CRS score based on your ECA and all the other factors. And then you get into the express entry tool. So create an online profile for your express entry and wait for the draw. So once the draw is completed, a draw usually takes place, express entry draw takes place every other 2 weeks, once in 2 weeks usually. So they define what the cutoff for that draw is, and then based on that, if you are above or same as that cutoff score, then you will receive an invitation to apply. And then the normal process follows. So you file the application online, get your medicals and police certificates, and then wait for the acknowledgement of receipt. So basically, once your application is in the system, that is actual PR application is in the system, you will wait for your AOR, that is nothing but the acknowledgement that you applied for it, and every documentation is fine, and then the process starts, and then finally request for passport. Then you can prepare for your landing. So once you have all the immigration visa in your passport, you can then decide when to land. You have to land within 1 year of your medicals. So these are the 10 steps that are part of the express entry step by step. So this is actually available in the description below. You can download the file from the description below. I have all the links, so stay tuned. So this is the presentation. It's in your description. It's in the video description below. You can download it. So each and every step has an associated link to it. So you can go to this link and then identify what it is in that link. For example, to find your NOC, you go here to this link and then you identify what your NOC code is. So basically, you see here, you find out, for example, if you are a human resource manager applying for express entry, you use this NOC code for your express entry profile. So this is how you identify your NOC. And then for checking your eligibility to the express entry, you go to this link again, and then if you go to that link, you go to this link again, and then you find out if you're eligible. So basically you check your eligibility here. So if you don't know which state you're going, you can just enter whatever state. For example, if I'm in Alberta, so let's click next. And then you need to submit your English and language, which test did you take. So for example, if you're going to take IELTS, click next. And then for example, if you if you already taken, or if you are going to take it, this is just you guys are just checking the eligibility here, so it doesn't matter whether you took it or not. So for example, if I take it in January 30th of 2019, I input the scores here. As I said before, a very high score is needed. So for example, scale level 8, listening 8.5, reading 8.5 or 9, and then make sure you get above 7 in writing. And then other language tests, I'm just going to take it for English. And then last 3 years, how many years of skill do you have in Canada? No, I don't have anyone. Most of the candidates usually who are applying for skilled immigrants these days are not don't have experience, but if you are studying here or if you're working here and applying for the express entry, you do have, you can fill it appropriately. And during this period, NOC level is most experiences. If you do not have Canadian experience, check none of the above. And then in the last 10 years, how many years of skilled experience do you have? It must have been continuous, paid, full time. So basically, I'm going to type or select 6 or more. And then if you're not sure of your NOC code, in the last 5 years, did you have at least 2 years of experience in one of the these type of jobs? I'm not, this is skilled trades, so I don't have any, so I'm going to put none. And then how much money? I'll put 32,000, 33,528 or more. How many family members? I'm going to bring all my family, 2 kids and spouse. Do you have a valid offer? No. It's a date of birth. Just put 1987, January 10th. That's not my date of birth. What is my highest level of education? Masters. Did check all that others apply. I have studied full-time in Canada. No. I have at least 2 years of work experience in Canada. I have a relative. No. None of the above. Marital status, married. Spouse or partner, yes, she's coming with me. Is your spouse permanent resident or citizen? No. Has your spouse studied in Canada full time? No. Has your spouse or partner worked in Canada full time? No. Has your spouse taken in English? It's better to take it, so it improves your score by 10 or 20 points. And then what did she take? When did she take? Again, around the same year, same day, same month, and same day. Probably, I think I put 12th or something. I don't remember. Test scores, it doesn't matter. Anything above 7 is good. For spouse, it doesn't greatly improve your scores. So an average of 7 is good. So you are eligible. So they give you a reference code which you'll be using for your express entry profile. So the next step is, I already told you about the educational credential assessment. So it's basically to check the Canadian equivalency of a foreign degree diploma certificate. So you have to do it. So basically these are the institutions. You can go to these links later and check that in detail. So one I'm preferring is the WES. So if you see here, this table gives you a brief overview of all the details or high level information. So it gives you the cost, it gives you how much processing time, what is the courier fees, etc., delivery fees. So one I'm recommending is the WES. So basically most of the candidates or most of the people who are applying to express entry usually use the WES. And be very see a quick note down here which mentions that when you're applying for WES, make sure it's a Canadian website. So there is one for US as well, which is used for US immigration purposes. So make sure you use the Canadian website. And as I mentioned, the next step is to take the English or French language tests. So these are the different IRCC approved tests. You can see that IELTS or CELPEP. IELTS is the most common one that everybody usually takes. So basically you take the exam, make sure you prepare well, and then my recommendation is to get CLB level 9. and then CELPEP is quite similar, but it's fully computerized. IELTS, it's both. You have it in paper mode as well as in computer-based testing. In not every country has CELPEP. Only few countries and few cities around the world has CELPEP. In India, you have it only in Chandigarh, I believe. IELTS is the most common English language test, and for French, you have these two, TEF Canada and TCF Canada. If you are able to get some score in French test as well, it greatly improves your score. So it depends if you want to take both the exams, or if you're just going to prepare well for your IELTS and get CLB level 9 or above, which greatly improves your score. So the note specifically mentions that IELTS recommended by me for better scores in speaking and writing. So basically, you have to make sure that you take IELTS compared to CELPEP, because speaking and writing is much easier in IELTS compared to CELPEP. So as I've been telling you, CLB level 9 is the most recommended score for your direct entry without job offer. So getting 8 is easy, and getting 10 is very difficult. If you prepare really well, it is gettable. CLB level 9 is gettable. So it greatly improves your score. Make sure you get that right away. Here we see that how IRCC is calculating your CRS score. It gives you the various factors that are involved, and then how much points is allocated for each factor. So for example, A and B is core human capital factors. So basically age, education, language proficiency, and Canadian work experience. So these are there are some factors which you can change. Age and education level cannot be changed. So if you have a high degree or high level degree or master's or a doctorate, so you have a very high score, the more sooner you or when you are young, if you apply, you have a very high score, that is basically after 25 or 26 years. And then so the only things that you can change is the language proficiency. So maximum without partner is 160 and maximum with partner is 170. So you can 10 added points from your partner. So that's the reason why I repeatedly say that language proficiency is very important. So other points are skill transferability, where you have Canadian work experience, and then if you have provincial nomination, it's get a huge jump. So these are the other factors, but these are quite difficult to get. All the agents say that, oh, you can get it through provincial nomination, but it's not that easy, I would say. So the next one is, these are the cutoff scores over the period of time in 2019. So the cutoff scores have been averaging around 449 to 457 most recently, and the highest is around 470. So it's been quite high, and you can get that only if your CLB score is more than 9. So I repeat it, CLB score more than 9. If you can get this more around 457, and if your age is like quite less. So once you're done, you just apply into the express entry pool and then wait for the invitation. These are the high level steps that I wanted to discuss with you. So once you apply after the ITA, what you do is your application cost is like $1,040 Canadian dollars, and your spouse is additional $1,040, and then for every dependent child you will be paying around $150. And the processing time is around 6 months, and then you can then land with one year of your medicals. So if you want to get more details, you can visit my site. I have all the necessary information, and then you can please do visit my channel as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. These are the steps, detailed steps. So thank you for watching. and please do subscribe and comment, and stay tuned for future videos. There are lots of videos in my channel, from immigration to travel, and then some gardening. So please subscribe and do watch my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.